Welcome to Sweet Talk
with your host Anastasia
and Alexandra,
and we have a special guest who is
Emily Hallstrut from Next Tech Girls.
And we're going to be finding out all about Next Tech Girls, what they do, and we're also going to be getting some insight for what to do in the future for those who don't know what to do. So let's get right into it. And the first question is, for those who have no clue what Next Tech Girls is, please can you give them an overview of what you do and what opportunities you provide?
Of course I can. So I feel like some of this might be a bit obvious from our name, which maybe is a good thing. You know, you can kind of tell straight away a bit about what we do. But basically our mission is to get more women working in tech. And we do that by working with girls and young women with like a very broad age range. So we start at, well, we originally started at 11, but we recently worked with some 9-year-olds. So actually we've gone even younger. And then in theory we work up to 25, but we even had like a woman in her early 40s come to an event last year. So it's getting broader and broader. But it's basically girls and young women predominantly who aren't yet working, so who are at school, at university, maybe on a gap year, or maybe have recently graduated and are kind of thinking about what to do next, who either are already interested in tech careers or don't really know what they want to do, or sometimes actually think they want to do other things. And we help to persuade them that actually tech is a better option for them. And so in terms of the opportunities that we have, we run work experience weeks, which are always in very high demand. We do insight days, which actually I prefer because it's one day, but you can have loads more girls going, so it's easier to go to those, I think. We do online kind of webinars, which are generally like panel Q&A discussions with women talking about their careers. We have our own events. The main one that we do every summer is called Next Tech Fest, which I think you went to
I got
last
this
year.
tote bag
there we
from
go.
there, and it was very useful. Like I met so many different people, and like I learned so many skills. Like we had to create like a 60-second like pitch of like what you can say to like any employees that you meet in the future, and like that was very useful.
Nice. So that's my favourite thing that we do. So we had over 350 girls and women there last year, which is really very cool. Like the first year we did it was about 100, so it's grown each year. And we had 37 companies sponsoring, including some really well-known names. So we had them across all different industries. So we had like Renault and Jaguar Land Rover. We had the BBC there. We had Just Eat. We had Tesco.
Yes, did somebody say Just Eat?
The singer of the group. But basically it's about getting girls and young women really excited about the prospect of working in tech, helping them understand the real like breadth of opportunities that exist. There's so many different jobs you can have in tech. It's not all coding. This is a really important thing for people to know. A very small part of roles in tech actually require any coding at all. And it's a really awesome industry to work in, and we desperately need more women. We all use technology all the time, and there's been lots of examples of technology being built without certain groups, especially women, kind of being involved in their design and development, and it means that they're just not built for us. So it's really hard for us to use them. Even like a small example, like phones, the size of a mobile phone, the average size or like the maximum size that they make them is based on the average size of a man's hand. And
The pips.
What are they? What is that?
Oh, the pips.
The pips. It's not the fire alarm. Don't you worry.
okay. So one of my colleagues recently got a new phone and she's really struggling with it because it's just a little bit
mine
too,
is big.
we hold them one-handed normally, right? And you want to be able to like take photos with them and stuff, and if you're a woman and you've got smaller hands, it can be really hard.
So I can say that right now. I've got really small hands.
There we go. I actually have really big hands, so I'm a bad example. But my point is, I mean, that's one very small example. There's loads of them where technology throughout the years, but even now in 2026 that we're in now, is still being designed without everyone's perspectives being involved, and it means that, like, you know, at best they're really hard for us to use. Like a phone being slightly too big. At worst, they're actually dangerous for us. So we really need more women in those spaces.
Yes. Exactly.
Next question is there a specific moment that made you realise that Next Tech Girls was needed?
That is a really good question. And I have to dispel a myth here first. So a lot of people assume that I created Next Tech Girls. Sadly, I didn't. So the original kind of idea and mission actually came from a tech recruitment company called Empiric. Almost 10 years ago, actually. It was in 2016. And they started it. A lot of private companies will have what's called a corporate social responsibility initiative. So it's something that they do that's kind of giving back to society. And so as theirs, because they worked in tech recruitment, they knew that there weren't many women in tech. A lot of companies they worked with wanted to be hiring women, and they were kind of struggling to find them. They thought, what can we do to give back in this space? So when they started, it was just organising work experience placements. So they would work directly with schools who would then find like the girls to do the placements, and it was just in London. But they put a few hundred girls through placements over the next few years. Then COVID happened, that horrible thing that we try not to talk about anymore. But it meant that work experience couldn't happen anymore. So it basically died for like 2 years. And then they got in touch with me. I was on maternity leave. They contacted me over LinkedIn. So this is why I always talk about, and I know Mrs. Hayden does too, LinkedIn's really important.
Yes.
It can help you so much. I literally got this job because of LinkedIn.
Wow.
So received a message while on maternity leave about how they were looking for someone to kind of revive it and turn it into something bigger and for it to be more impactful, and was I interested? And I was very interested. So prior to that, I was working in digital government, so in tech, but within central government, mainly in the Ministry of Justice. As a delivery manager, a job that most people probably haven't heard of. I wasn't delivering post, I know that's what it sounds like. It was like delivering software, but I basically was kind of like a team coach. It's sometimes called a scrum master, but that makes even less sense when people hear it. It sounds like a rugby term. But my kind of passion project was diversity, equity and inclusion. So I ended up building a group of people who, on top of our day jobs, were looking into like, why do we not have many women in our teams, and why are there not many women across the industry, and trying to get more women working for us and more people from all different kinds of underrepresented groups working for us. And it was something I would have loved to do full time, but there just wasn't the option at the Ministry of Justice. So when I got this message on LinkedIn while I was on maternity leave, I was like, yes, I love the sound of this, I would love to do this. So they effectively gave me kind of the idea, the name, the brand, and the mission, and then kind of left me to figure out what to do with it and how to kind of make it
You've done
more
a great
impactful.
job. Like,
Thank you.
I've
I
been
really
to like
appreciate that.
3 events and I've
Nice.
loved all of them, and
That's
I've gained
really
so much
nice.
insight, and I'm sure like other people have as well.
Thank you. I
So,
know that we have lots of
that's
students
amazing.
from Langley that come to our events.
Yeah.
So, hopefully they appreciate them. Lots of repeat attendees as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, and linking on to that, what has been your favourite event that you've hosted so far?
I would have to say the most recent Next Tech Fest.
Yeah,
so that is
that
like a
was
flagship
good.
event. You were there. You'll
Yeah,
have to try and
I was
come this
there.
year.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's no judgment. This is good. We want the community to grow. This is an
Yeah.
opportunity for
I'll
more
come
people to
next time. Don't
yeah,
you
please,
worry.
it'll be
Don't
great.
you worry.
So for anyone who hasn't been before, we'll be doing it next this August. We always run it in the summer holidays because we want as many students to be able to come as possible. And it's generally for students from age around 15 or 16 up to kind of like mid-20s. We do workshops, we do panel sessions, we do one-to-one speed mentoring with women in tech, which is cool. Did you do that?
Yeah, and there
last
was
year?
like so many different like people from like different like careers. Like it wasn't just like one type of person. Like I spoke to data analysts, someone from like what's it called, customer services and accounting. Like I got to speak to so many different people. So if you don't know what to do, it will be so useful. So
It's always the favourite session actually whenever we do speed mentoring at events. I think because unfortunately like the media depiction of tech really doesn't do it any favours, and the people that we tend to have heard of who work in tech tend to be like middle-aged white guys who are not very nice people. I won't name names because I don't want to give them the airtime, but you know.
Drama.
But there are actually so many brilliant women in tech. There aren't enough.
Yeah.
It's only like 20 to 25% of the industry, but that's still a lot of women. And they're doing really exciting things. But generally, young people have never heard of them, have never had a chance to speak to them. So normally when we run speed mentoring, it's really popular because it's quite a unique opportunity to speak to. Like you said, different women in different companies, different jobs, and hear about like the realities of tech and get quite excited about it.
you know, there was actually like a swarm of people there. I remember, oh my god, it was packed outside because there was like a corridor and the room was there, and there was so many people trying
We'll be
to get
working
in.
on the layout for this year and the scheduling of the sessions. There were certain workshops as well. So we had like Snowflake, who you might have heard of, but they're quite big in the AI space. They were doing a session that was called like the eras of large language models. So it was based on Taylor Swift. Did you manage to go to that one?
Yeah, but I didn't get Teddy.
I was going to say.
I didn't
So
get
they ran their
Teddy.
workshop twice, and for the first round, they had these really lovely like polar bears that are
Yeah,
like
I
their
really
kind of
wanted that.
mascot. And then they had ran it a second time, but they'd only got enough polar bears for the first round. So I think the second time you got like caps or something.
Yeah,
There
but
were lots
I
of
didn't
complaints
pick it
about
up.
the
I
lack
didn't
of
pick it
kind of
up.
lack of.
I feel a bit. All right, next question. What job is the tech industry do you think is going to be the most in demand in the future?
That's such a hard question to ask. I feel like tech as an industry evolves so rapidly, like more than any other industry. And AI at the moment is a big trending topic. And so across the tech industry, I think the question is, what impact is AI going to have on jobs? Everyone's scared across all industries that AI is going to take their jobs. I think realistically there will be jobs that won't need to exist anymore because they can be automated. I think that will happen. But I hope that it will be more kind of like manual, boring, repetitive tasks that AI will be doing, and that the more kind of creative side of things will still be human-led. I really, really hope. But I think in terms of kind of like future-proofing your career in this age of AI, I think that kind of human side of things is always going to be needed. There are certain things that technology will never really truly be able to replicate. So I think building relationships is incredibly important. You know, if your colleague is ChatGPT, you're not going to have anywhere near as much fun as if there's someone else, a human who you have like things in common with, you can actually have a chat with. So building relationships, especially in person, is going to be very important for whatever career you want to go into. And I think also just learning to use AI effectively is important as well. Learning how to kind of prompt it in a good way to get the kind of outcomes that you want, and not relying on it too much.
You need to still have like critical thinking, otherwise.
And you need to make sure that you're shining through. So something that we talk about a lot is like job applications. Don't put a job ad into ChatGPT or whatever your AI app of choice is and say, write me a cover letter for this, because it will just be a generic cover letter that a million other people have sent in, and you'll just get like put aside straight away because you put no effort in. But you know, use it to enhance your own experience and thoughts rather than actually doing the work for you. Because that's not going to help you in the long run.
And what would you say to girls who are nervous about pursuing a career that is male dominated or are scared of failing?
That's tough. So yes, the tech industry is male dominated at the moment, and there's nothing that we can do about that instantly. Sadly, I wish there were. I'm very hopeful that through organisations like ours, like Next Tech Girls, that will change, hopefully quite quickly, if we can encourage lots more girls and women in. I think if you're nervous about it, it will depend on the company that you work with, firstly. So obviously there's going to be some companies that are very male dominated, and then there are others where actually they have a really good balance. We work with some companies where even more than 50% of the staff are women. It will depend on the roles they're in. So sometimes they won't be in as technical roles. So if you're a software engineer, for example, probably there'll be fewer women. Whereas if you're like a designer or a product manager, there might be more. But in tech, you tend to work in what they call multidisciplinary teams. So you're not generally, if you're a software developer, working with other software developers that often. You're mainly working with people in other roles who are coming together to bring all their different skills to develop, whether it's an app, a game, a website, whatever it might be. So, you know, even if you're one of very few women in that specific role, you'll be working in a team with realistically women in other roles. So I think if you're nervous about working with someone that's male dominated, just think about where you're applying. You can normally tell if a company's got good representation. If you go to the interview and it's only men interviewing you, where are the women? That's not a good sign, is it? They couldn't even find one to interview a woman. Not great. Even like looking at their website, their social media, like you'll be able to tell firstly whether they have many women, also whether they care about women. You know, there'll be companies who will regularly put on events for women in tech because they care about them. Even if they don't have great representation, that's going to be a place with a good culture for women to go and work. Whereas, you know, if it's a company who only mentions women for International Women's Day and then goes silent on them the rest of the year, maybe not such a good place. And in terms of that fear of failure, lots of you might know Stephen Bartlett, who's one of the dragons on Dragon's Den, and he does Diary of a CEO.
I listen to the podcast.
Okay, his podcast is pretty great.
It is.
I saw him speak at a conference a couple of years ago. He's such a good speaker. I mean, I don't know whether he'd done this exact speech a million times before, and that's why it was so good, but it was brilliant. And I'm probably going to butcher this now, but he says something along the lines of, failure is feedback. I think it's feedback is knowledge and knowledge is power. And he actually has a person in a role that is, I can't remember the exact job title, but it's along the lines of head of failure. Like he hired this, I think it's a woman, who her job is to make sure that everyone in all his many businesses is failing often, because if they're not failing, they're not trying new things, they're not innovating, they're not learning about how to be better. So he actually views failure as a really positive thing. And hearing him say that made me feel very differently about failure.
Who is a woman in tech that inspires you?
I love this question. So my answer is maybe a bit unorthodox because she's not exactly a woman in tech.
That's fine.
As I don't really consider myself a woman in tech anymore. I kind of feel like I've left tech, but now I'm working like for tech rather than in tech. That makes sense. I'm trying to make tech better. And this is a similar person. So her name, and I'm probably going to mispronounce her surname, I really hope I don't. Her name is Reshma Saujani, I think is how you pronounce it. She actually started, I don't know exactly where she started her career, but early on she was in politics. She was American, and she ran for like Congress or something in New York and failed. She's also been a guest on the Diary of a CEO podcast, so look her up. She's awesome. I love her so much. But she started an organisation you might have heard of called Girls Who Code, which is a massive
Girls-
like international
Yes, I've
thing.
heard of that. Yeah.
That's basically her mission was to teach like every girl in the world how to code, because she realised that there weren't enough women in tech and that's not okay, and we need to innovate, and to do that we need
Yeah.
everyone kind of participating, and she really wanted to like uplift other girls and women. So she was the founder and CEO of Girls Who Code for a long time. It's now there's another woman kind of running it now, and she's got another organisation now that I can't remember, but it's all about rights for mothers in the US, which are really bad. They have like no maternity leave. It's really awful. So she's trying to change
Didn't know
that.
that.
So bringing together kind of women's rights and politics again, and kind of doing that.
Question isn't really tech related, but we want to find out, what was your dream job when you were younger?
Okay, so I actually wanted to act. I'm very
Same.
chatty, so you might, it's
Yes,
probably not a
yes.
massive shock. So I did drama up to A-level, and initially I wanted to go to like RADA or something and like study acting. But I mainly wanted to do film and TV because I just really love film and TV. I get really kind of immersed in it. I still do. I still love watching film and TV. But I think the main reason I wanted to act is because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And the thing I most loved about the thought of acting was being able to be lots of different people with
Yeah.
lots of different jobs. I thought that was cool.
That's
Like, then I
what
don't have to
I
pick one
would
thing.
prefer.
I get to do all different things all the time. I just loved that idea. But I pivoted and I actually ended up doing languages at university. And then
What
started
language?
so I did Spanish and Italian at
Oh,
university.
Wow,
No, no. I'm far too rusty for that. But are you doing Spanish at A-level?
No.
We
Oh,
did
you did
at
at GCSE?
Yeah.
Nice. It's a beautiful language. Italian is as well. I do love them
Yeah.
both. But I will not be put on the spot to speak. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so I studied language at university, which I would really recommend actually. It's because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and it involved a year abroad, and I thought that sounds amazing.
Love a bit of travel.
It was
Yeah.
great, and I thought also it's a useful life skill. So even if I don't end up doing anything related to that for work, at least I've got like this useful thing that when I go on
Yeah.
holiday I can use. And then I started on a graduate scheme in government that was like every 6 months you got put in a different department in a different team. So I didn't plan to go into tech, but my second placement 6 months in, I was put in a tech team. Should I stop? I should stop.
Okay, no, it's over.
My second placement 6 months in, I was put in a tech team in government, and I just absolutely loved it. And that was one of the reasons why I'm really passionate about Next Tech Girls actually, is because I think I was lucky to have that opportunity to see what working in tech's like and learn about all these jobs I'd never heard of before and had no idea I could do as someone who didn't know how to code, hadn't studied computer science. So I'm really keen for more girls and young women to learn that early on, like ideally before they start their careers, because it can be quite, like, it's not impossible to switch careers, but it's a lot harder than if you've gone into it kind of in the first place.
Yeah,
So
but it's still possible because you still managed to do it. Which is
that's true. It
which
is. It
great.
definitely is. Yeah.
But earlier the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. What's a random skill you have that has nothing to do with tech?
Can I cheat and say speaking languages? Speaking Spanish and Italian? I don't know. A random skill. That's a hard one. You know, I don't really feel like I have many skills. That's sad, isn't it?
Well, that's fine. 2026, it can be your
Yeah,
year to
yeah.
explore
I'm one of
some
those
new
people
skills.
who's like wanted to have many hobbies but
Yes.
never last. They don't last very long. I do have ADHD. I discovered a couple of years ago, so it makes sense to me now. But yeah, I've tended to like start things and not really follow through with them. I do really like photography. But I'm not sure if I can really count that as a skill.
You know what?
I
Yeah,
like taking
yeah.
photos, but I don't know that I'm like that good at it to call it a skill.
Well, you can. Because
Yeah.
Okay.
This year, you can
Okay,
try.
thank you. I will. Me. I feel like you've asked me very like tame questions though. Sure you don't want to end on something a bit weird, a bit out there.
Let's see what can
I feel like you don't know this, but Mrs. Hazen's off screen.
Yeah.
She got
I've
asked
been looking
some,
at her a
like,
couple
some
of
more
times.
strange questions.
Okay, do you have a question?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be strange. That's maybe harder.
Let's talk about biscuits.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. We should ask you about what
yes.
type
Okay.
of biscuit you would be, maybe.
What type of biscuit would I be?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. I thought you were going to say like, what's my favourite biscuit? Even that
No,
would be
we're
hard.
going weird.
What kind of biscuit would I be? Oh wow. I feel like it would have to be something kind of like unpredictable and like with some variety.
Yeah.
So maybe something that's got like, I think it would be a cookie, but maybe it would need to have some like hidden ingredients.
Ooh.
I feel like this sounds really like arrogant now, but I feel like I have like hidden layers.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So
The Marks and Spencers, you know, the Christmas cookie that has
Oh,
the
I don't know
peppermint
this
in
one.
it. There was
Oh,
Marks and
that one,
Spencers,
yeah.
like
I
Christmas
don't know if that
special.
would be nice. Would people like that?
I ate it. It was good.
Okay,
It
it
was
needs to be a
good.
cookie that people like because that's
Yes,
important.
it was a good one. Everyone
But
loves
yeah,
Marks
something with
and
like
Spencers.
lots of different things in it, I think.
Mm.
Because I do like to do like a bit of lots of different things. That's one of the main things I love about my job actually is there's so much variety.
Yeah.
Like coming here today and getting to talk to you and being
Yeah.
on podcast, why not? But I get to do so many different things, and that's kind of for me that's what keeps life interesting. Like I would find it hard if I had to do the same thing. I honestly don't know how
Yeah.
people do the types of jobs where it is like the same thing over and over again. I
could
just
never.
would
Yeah,
really
I could
struggle.
not.
I would fall asleep.
I need
on the
to do.
side. I've got,
Just gotta get that plug
got
in
a
there.
question.
Oh, good.
Yes, and it is if you were a meme, what
Oh.
meme would you be?
That is hard because I'm probably really out of touch with memes. I'm probably going to say one that's like really old. Do you know what? This is really bad, but I do quite like this one actually. I don't know why it would be me, but I just kind of want to say it. You know the one where there's like a burning building in the background? And it's just like smiling over his shoulder?
Yeah.
I think I would be that one because it's kind of like mischievous and rebellious.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, did she do it? Like you don't really know quite what is this face? Do you know the one that
Yes,
it's quite old?
I love that.
I think I would be that because it's like you're like, why are you smiling? Like you're literally looking at, but I quite like the audacity of it. I guess
Yeah,
it's
that's
fun.
that's a good
I'm gonna go with
one.
that one.
It reminds me of that video with the kid and his mum. They're being interviewed by like interviewers for like the news, and the mum's crying because the
I don't know this
their house got burned down, and then her son gets interviewed and he starts laughing as everything's gone, everything's burned hot.
And he's just laughing.
The
seen
lighter,
that.
the spray can, I don't know, but something like that. I'll probably edit it in.
Everything's gone. Just everything's gone.
Yeah, everything's gone, even my lighter and my deodorant. I was having so much fun with them. Best night ever.
No.
But it's really funny. It reminds me of that.
I thought you were going to talk about the one where the guy was doing the news.
Yeah, the
and
ginger,
then
was it the
the
ginger
kids
kid?
came in. This was like pre-COVID. He was like working from home, I
Oh,
guess.
oh yes.
And the kids come in, and then the
Yes,
one
I
mum comes in
remember
and
that.
tried, but thinking she's
Oh,
off
that
camera,
was
and
so
so
funny.
trying to get the kids out, and then the kid comes back in and she's getting the kid, and he's the whole time, he can obviously see them on his
Yeah.
screen, and he's trying to like just keep reading the news. But I love that because that normalised working from home and the chaos that can sometimes be working
Yeah.
from home. And then of course COVID
my
happened,
God.
and everyone's kids and pets were on screens
Yeah.
all the time. So
I was
That's
thinking
good.
of the ginger kid who was like he was
thinking of different
interviewed
ones.
and he was like I don't know, he just kept stuttering. If you, I don't know how it went. Do you know what I'm
No,
talking
I don't know
about?
what you're talking about.
Well, I'm gonna show it to you.
There's
and then
loads
you
of
can
ginger
put it
kids out on the
inside.
internet, so I would not know.
What did you think about the ride? It was great. And apparently, I've never been on live television before, but apparently sometimes I don't watch I don't watch the news.
Yeah, any more questions, or is that just it?
Or is that the way
can
that
I
you
ask
can-
you a question?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I've got two.
Okay.
So first one is, if you had to pick now, what would your future career be? And it can be something that doesn't exist. It doesn't have to be like an existing thing.
Oh.
How would you want to spend your days, I guess?
Okay, I would say I have top 3.
Okay.
Okay.
So one might be like media, so maybe like videography, video editing,
Nice.
that kind of content creating. So like
Okay,
what we're doing
nice.
now, interior designer, architect.
Nice.
One of like those.
Do you know how you?
Well, for me, I definitely want to do something where I'm constantly doing something new, and I want to meet new people. I love like this podcast idea. This is why we want to.
This is why we're
start
doing it. Yeah.
But yeah, the job that I want to have in the future, it definitely has to be like client based,
Okay.
and I want to do something new every single time. And also, I just want to be flexible with my time. Like, I don't want to be working like investment bankers. Like, they work until like 2 a.m. I don't want to be doing that.
Yeah,
No.
and lawyers
could
and
not do
people in
that.
like
Yeah,
medicine.
no.
Yeah.
I want to make sure to like live my life to the fullest, but like I just want to meet as many people as possible. And also with my job, I want to like maybe travel around to different places.
Tech is good for this.
Yes.
Tech is good. You get to go to
Yeah.
conferences. I even went to a conference once in Lisbon. It's a big one called Web Summit. There's lots you could go to, you know. And if you work for an international company, you might get to travel to different places to meet different people in your
I
team.
love that.
So
So
it's worth considering.
I'll look out. I'll do my research project and I'll look
Do.
Yeah,
Also share it on
check
social
out.
media.
Well,
And I had one other question for you,
Yeah.
which is, what scares you the most about your future? I know it's a big question.
so that's a good question. Okay.
Just job itself. It's just scary. I mean, like
Yeah.
as you said, AI and with the tech and media industry, I feel that's really fearful because I'm always being reminded while people are talking about like ChatGPT. I don't know what's on TikTok, like Italian brain rot. It's just
Italian.
yeah, like it just reminds me of that AI's out there and it could steal our jobs. So that's what scares me. And just not having like I'm just scared of growing up. You know, like not having the same experience. You know, going to school, sing.
Yeah.
I'm being really sad right now, but like.
Okay.
I just miss this.
say
I'm
it out
gonna,
loud.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
missing. I
release
just
it.
in the future just miss release them. Sorry. But it's the fact that like when you grow up, you can't go back in time and have the same school experience, having that fun as like a teenager. So that's
get
why I'm
that.
scared, you know, just
So to make you feel better,
Yeah.
everyone I know, they feel their lives have just kept on getting better since they were at school.
oh,
Just keeps getting better.
Good.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s now, and I know lots of people who are scared about turning 30. I've loved my 30s more than any decade I've lived before. Life does keep getting better. Like, I know there's so many great things about school. Like, you're surrounded by friends all the time if you're lucky enough to be. You know, and you're learning and you don't have a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of things I really don't miss about school, like exams, deadlines, having to ask permission to go to the toilet. You know, like you don't have a lot of autonomy or independence like you do when you're
school,
older.
but without the school, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
If you work somewhere, hopefully wherever you end up working, you'll really like the people you work with, and then you still get that community feel like you had at school of like working with these really lovely people that you joke around with all day. We all know that Mrs. Hayes and Mrs. Day spend half the day laughing. Like she sends me she sends me voice notes sometimes, and it's just her and Mrs. Day laughing. It's great, and I just think, what great times. They obviously work incredibly hard as well and need those moments of like relief. But yeah, I mean, most people I know like really love the people that they work with, become really good friends with people that they work with. So you can still get all the good bits of school without all the bad bits.
Yeah, exactly.
So it actually does genuinely keep getting better. I hope that that's reassuring. How about you?
Yeah, I'm just scared about like wasting my life. Like I don't want to be stuck in a job that I don't like and feel like I can't get out of it. You know, so I just want to make sure I live my life to the fullest. But I'm also scared because like I just don't know whether to do like uni or apprenticeships, but also like it's getting expensive now, and like even if you go to uni, I'm scared about like the loans and everything and paying it and like how it's going to work in the future.
Don't worry too much about the loans because the way it works is you don't even start paying it back until you earn a certain salary, and then even once you do, it's a tiny percentage.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually affect you that much. Like if you're only, hopefully you won't only ever be on a low salary, but if you were, you would never pay it off. And I think when you reach 40 or 45, it gets
Not
cancelled out, so it just goes away.
Okay.
And if you are earning enough to have to pay it back, well then that's because you're earning a good salary. So actually that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, that's
So
good to
if you
hear.
view it more as like almost like an education tax, so it's like you've had this great educational experience that hopefully has helped you get a better job. That's like the best possible thing of university is you get on a graduate scheme, let's say, that you couldn't have got on if you hadn't have done the degree, and that kind of fast tracks your career into these roles where you get, you know, to do more interesting things and you get paid more. And so then it's just like you're kind of just like paying back to say like, thanks for giving me this great opportunity, you know, because I probably wouldn't have such a good salary if I hadn't have gone to university. Potentially, it's not always the case.
Then this is now the
Now
end.
it's the end.
Now
I
it's
thought
the
I'd
end.
tap on some extra. some
No,
extra.
it made it great.
Yeah.
And the main theme was failure, guys. So remember, failure
Yes.
is okay. It's
Failure
good.
is okay.
Failure is
It's better than okay. It's
success.
failure is.
It's
Well, no, I mean,
yeah,
you want to
okay.
succeed sometimes.
Okay, failure
but
is a close second to success.
Yeah.
it's good. It teaches you things. It
Yeah.
gives you information.
But yeah, thank you
Well,
very much
thank
for
you.
watching.
Thank you
and
for
Thank you for
having
having
me.
me.
Yeah.
I loved it. Thank
We'll
you.
see you in another episode.
So all we've got to say is bye.